Islam family, Salim B checking in one more time. Peace and love. Quick message to the Moors in Charleston, South Carolina, especially those branded with the names Negro, Black, Colored, African American. Here to tell you that you are not any of those, as those are our brands placed on our ancestors to denationalize them, steal our birthrights, steal our land, and steal our inheritance. Today's message is about nationality. Um, I do a quick introduction by Dr. John Henry Clark, one of our master teachers. So I'll let you check that out.
We are a nation within a nation in this country searching for a nationality. And once we find our nationality and serve that nationality, we'll do for ourselves what needs to be done. All ethnic groups in this country understand they got a nationality. Because you answer to such stupid words like Negro and colored and black. You have no nationality. Negro is not a nationality. Some lazy Portuguese or Spanish took an adjective and made a noun out. Colored is not a nationality. Black tells you how you look, but it don't tell you who you are. The name of a people must relate them instantaneously to land, history, and culture. And anytime you call a people by their right name, anytime you call a people, name a people, and fail to relate them back to land, history, and culture, you have called them out of their name. There's no black land or black oil. There's nothing wrong with the word black. Nothing wrong with it at all. Only it doesn't relate to a country. The name of every people in the world related to country. And once you think instantaneously of land, you think of nationality. You belong to something big in the world.
Powerful message. One of the things that Dr. Clark said just now was that nationality instantaneously links a people back to land, history, and culture. So I have a 1828 unabridged Webster's dictionary right here, and I look up the definition of instantaneously, and it says that instantaneously means at the very exact moment or right then and there on the spot. So that would mean that your nationality instantaneously relates you back to a land, history, a culture, and a people. Now, with the word black does not instantaneously link us to land, history, or culture. Neither does the word Negro link us instantaneously to land, history, and culture. Neither does the word colored or African American link us instantaneously to land, history, culture. All of those words were used to denationalize us. Those words dilute right back to slavery. And that's why you have your Black History Month. If we are the mothers and fathers of civilization, how do we have 1 month to serve our history when our history is every day? So, what is nationality? The definition of nationality is the quality or character that derives from a person being part of a particular body, nation, or state. Well, that's very important because when you look up the definition of quality, you see that quality means right here. You see that quality means right here. Quality. A characteristic or feature that someone or something has. A level of value or excellence. Once again, A characteristic or feature that someone or something has is quality, a level of value or excellence. The definition for character: the way someone thinks, feels, or behaves. Someone's personalities, a set of qualities that are shared by many people in a group or country. A set of qualities that make a place or thing different from other places. So character is a set of qualities that makes a place or thing different from other places. So when we're looking at the so-called black man in Charleston, South Carolina, you understand that your nationality is what separates you from the rest. Your nationality is what makes you feel a certain way you feel about yourself. So if we were to take a look at our people today and the way that we look at ourselves, we see that our condition has been, we have been conditioned and our mentality has been reduced to that of Negro, black, and colored people. So that comes from lack of nationality, because nationality is the quality or character that derives from you being part of something. And over here in Charleston, South Carolina, and the surrounding areas, we have been stripped from being a part of something because we have been denationalized and we have been branded with the names black, Negro, colored, and African American. Now, the reason this is so important, because this is why our kids and our youth are growing up feeling the way that they are feeling, because they are disconnected. Because when you are saying you're just a black person, it disconnects you. It does not connect you to a certain ancient history, such as the Indians can go back to India and look at all the ancient history over there, or the Japanese can look at Japanese culture and link themselves back to all the ancient history. But when we take a look at our people and we just see that we are labeled as black, colored, and African American, there is no connection to an ancient history with those brands. That's why in 1913, a good brother by the name of Noble Drew Ali, this is how he looks if you've never seen him. He was from North Carolina. He was mixed with Cherokee, and he brought our nationality back to us and restored our nationality to us. But he has been swept under the rug by all of the so-called black leaders of today. And he was before Malcolm X, before Dr. King, before Nelson Mandela, before all of these people came Noble Drew Ali, returning us back to our rightful state so that we could take our place in the affairs of man. Now, why is nationality so important? It's so important because when, say everyone in Charleston had a nationality, right? Now that we have a nationality, that is what's going to unite us as a people. That's what's going to unite our youth. So now everything that you do, you are doing it for the nation. So if you have your own business or anything that you have, and you have a nationality, it all links back to our nation. So now our nation can grow economically, spiritually, and all kind of other ways. Now we can grow as a nation because everyone has a nationality. Now, as we see, the word black, Negro, colored, African American, and law, understand the dictionaries that they use in the courtrooms versus your regular dictionary is not the same. So with those brands, black, Negro, colored, African American, in law, they are considered civil letter mortis, which means dead in the eyes of the law. So if you were to look at this definition right here of civil letter mortis, it says one that has lost their civil rights and their capacities. So this, the lack of a nationality is what gives the courts and these so-called judges and these so-called politicians, this is why the judge can just give a so-called black man 30 years and no rebuttal, no anything, because we have no nationality, because we are dead in the eyes of the law. That's why we have to hire a lawyer to represent us. And that right there is false, because if you are alive and breathing, then no one can represent you. You can present yourself. There's no need to hire a lawyer to represent you, because the lawyer has allegiance to the courts. So the lawyer is actually a spy working for the courts against you, and his allegiance is to the court. So that's why we as a people must become active politically. We have to become active politically. Those are the two places that we fall short, politically and economically. And this is exactly what Noble Drew Ali brought to the people. He brought nationality and birthrights, which goes along with civics and teaching our people the law, because we don't know the law, and that is where we are getting messed up at every single day with all of these speeding tickets, traffic tickets, court, getting locked up, having to pay lawyer fees, all of these things that we don't have the money to pay for. So we as a people must learn the law. And another thing we must recognize is that when by us learning the law, that is actually the foundation of civilization. Because when we are learning law, we are understanding what governs us, because law governs all things. So we must know law. We must know law. We must know law. Everyone must become competent in law, because they have labeled us incompetent. The word incompetent means that you are unable to handle your own affairs. Noble Drew Ali came and said, take your place in the affairs of man. So what they did was they disconnected us from our original constitution and made us think that it didn't have anything to do with us, which is a big lie, because the only way that your rights are protected is under the constitution. And the reason that we believe that the Constitution doesn't have anything to do with us is because we are still looking at ourselves as blacks. Because the Constitution has nothing to do with black people. Because blacks are considered slaves. Blacks are considered property, shadow property. So once we take a look at ourselves and recognize that we are the Moors, now you see the Moors all through the Constitution. You see we have coat of arms. We have our own national flag. We have everything. We have everything it takes. Noble Drew Ali came. He said, I brought you everything it takes to save a nation. Take it and save yourself. So, with that being said, you got our people out here running to these churches thinking these preachers are going to save them and all of this and that. There, no. Because if you understand that the priesthood has taken crafty counsel against the people, and they are actually acting as government, controlling the minds and the hearts of people, preying off their emotions and their economics. So we as a people, we must start becoming knowledgeable and start dealing with knowledge versus belief, because the second that we deal with belief, whoever has knowledge is superior to us, because knowledge is superior to belief. So there are 3 degrees. There is knowledge, there is belief, faith, and fruition. They want to keep you in the belief degree, and they're going to give you a little faith to go along with your belief. But fruition is the last degree, so you can become everything that you know. Now you can become active and take your place in the affairs of man. Now, as we look at Malcolm X, when we see that Malcolm X changed his name to El Haj Malik El Shabazz, that's because he went over there and found out the truth about nationality and birthrights, and that we over here in North America were fighting for civil rights, when you cannot hit civil rights unless you're recognized as a human being first. So human rights is what we want. We must reclaim our own birthrights. This is what has been stolen from us. This is how come the lack of a nationality is the reason that they are taking people's lands. You see people's homes getting foreclosures and stuff like that. That's because of lack of nationality. The birth certificate, the social security card, all of those are the fraudulent instruments that they are using to steal our land and our birthrights. Because the second that the mother signs the birth certificate, she is registering the child as a corporation versus a human being. And we as a people, we have the right to create our own documentation, because we are alive. We must just become competent and recognize where we stand as a people. The nationality is what's going to link the kids. So when they're coming up, oh yeah, you Japanese, I'm Japanese. Yeah, you a Moor, I'm a Moor. We work together. That is what links everyone and everything. That's what's going to link all the businesses. All the business. If you got a barbershop, she got a nail salon, she got this, we got this. Okay, we all Moors. So we all working together for our nation. Now our nation can grow, and we can grow as a people. Now, another thing you must recognize, they never taught us about Noble Drew Ali in school. They swept them under the rug. They do not want you to ever restore your nationality and birthright. Because if so, if you stop calling yourself Negro, Black, Colored, then the game is over. The color game is over. There is no colors. We are the only people, realize, take a second and think. We are the only people in the world that identify ourselves by a color. Now, is that by chance or is that by systematic planning? This is systematically planned for us to stay in a false identity so they can steal our land and our birthrights. Keep everybody thinking they came from Africa on slave ships so no one could claim this land. We are the indigenous people all around the world. We've been a global people. We have been everywhere around the world. Anywhere you go, you will see us. But anywhere you go in the world, you will not see people identifying themselves by a color. And that is the reason that we are in this current condition. Because we are not being ourselves. Because being ourselves is what's best for us. And that's what works best for us as a nation. We are already a nation. Proof that we don't have a nationality is that it links you, your nationality links you directly to land, history, and culture. The so-called black man in Charleston, South Carolina. We have no flag. We have no national headdress. We have you see the Muslims and the Indians, and you see that they put their red dot on their head every morning before they come out the house. What the so-called black people do every time they come out the house? What is black people official headdress? What is it? What is our flag? Where is our flag? Only thing we have is Black History Month, which is some slave shit that they just made up to just keep us incompetent, to keep us away from the truth. This is the last testament. This is what it is. Either you're going to proclaim your nationality and birthrights, or you're going to be a slave, because those who take advantage of this knowledge are going to rise politically, economically, spiritually, all of that. And those ones who keep rejecting knowledge, as it says in the scriptures, my people perish for lack of knowledge. So if they was teaching the right things in the church, then everyone would have it, because everyone believes in whatever. So it's not that we don't have belief, because our people, if anyone goes to church, it's our people. We go to church every Sunday, Wednesday, Friday, Thursday, Tuesday, Monday. It's not that. The church leaders refuse to speak on nationality and birthrights because they know that they are under a 501c3 contract with the popes of Rome. And under that 501c3 contract, the church cannot speak about certain things that's going on, or else they will have to pay taxes. That's how they get their tax exempt status. If you understand that we are the original people of this land, why are we paying taxes to foreign colonizers? Why do we need a license to fish on our own land? It doesn't make any sense. We have been stripped of our nationality and birthright. This is the root of all the problems. The quality or character that derives from being part of a particular body, nation, or state. Your nationality is what makes you look at your brother as your brother versus, oh, I'm going to just kill this nigga, or I'm going to just rob this. That your nationality is what links you. It's what links everything. It's what links all the religions, all the businesses, all the different views, everything. So we must take our place politically and economically. If we ever want to develop spiritually as a people, we got to take our place. We got to become competent with the law. We got to. A lawyer is a spy. A lawyer is basically you hiring the enemy to represent you. It's like this right here. I can present this book to you. It's already a book. I can't represent it. Just like someone can't represent you as you unless you are dead. So now they are speaking for you because they have labeled you as a corporation rather than a human being. Another thing, you look at the movements that were going on in the early 1900s, you see that everyone was fighting for civil rights, and they were teaching civics. A lot of civics were involved because you have to know the law. Because if people are out here protesting and marching and people are getting locked up, how are we going to get our people out the jail if we don't know the law? That's why we must become active politically. We have to. The only power is political power. Anything else is force. These people don't have power. They have force. They're using force, and they are using the law against us because the so-called black man refuses to pick up any books to better himself because he already thinks he knows it all. A wise man will read many books and still believe that he has more to learn. A religious man will read one book and believe he knows it all and perish for lack of knowledge. Remember that, people. I love y'all. Peace and love. Shalom. Hotep. Nationality is the order of the day. They tried to sweep Noble Drew Ali under the rug, but he's back, and so-called black people in Charleston, South Carolina realize we got a prophet. We got a prophet, Noble Drew Ali. Go do some research on Noble Drew Ali. We got a prophet. We are not Negro, black, colored people. We got a prophet. We got principles. We have a nationality. We are Moors. We are not Negro, black, colored people. Peace and love, family.
Do this shit. So I'ma do this shit. No, Salim. Yeah.